The film features lots of cameos, including Emma Bunton, Mel C, David Hasselhoff, Jedward, Gary Barlow, Denise Van Houten, Tinchy Stryder, Rizzle Kicks, Gino DeCampo, Paddy McGuinness. Who else is in it? Jason Donovan, Peter Andre. And Jason Donovan and Peter Andre. My core cast is made up of Kelly Brook from Dreams, Kevin Bishop from The Kevin Bishop Show, and Star Stories, and not forgetting Muppet Treasure Island. It also stars my girlfriend Rosie, who played herself. Played herself. Sorry, I thought I was going to go down a rude path then. She played herself in the film because she's not an actress. She's never done acting before, and but I thought it'd be good to get her in it because the girl that nearly got the part was 6 foot and black, and she looks nothing like Rosie does in real life. And so I said, why don't we get real Rosie? And she didn't want to do it at first, because in Leeds, like, only celebrities you see are people from Emmerdale Farm, and they come in and you go, Emmerdale, they feel there's somewhat, don't they? Eh? Billy Big Bollocks. And I've met some Emmerdale people, they're nice, so you shouldn't judge a book by its cover. And so she didn't want to do it because she didn't want to be like, people think that she thinks she's Billy Big Bollocks in Leeds, but she's moved out of Leeds and lives in London with me now. And she was very good. Kelly Brook was unbelievable because she had a small part, and then she said yes. Then her part became bigger, and so did mine. Favourite scene with Kelly Brook? I do like when we're eating the food sensuously. That was quite funny to do that. And any time where she's half naked was fun too. The best thing about working on a film is the camaraderie and family atmosphere which happens. You all feel like a close family of gypsies, and that's nice because you live in caravans. And I've made some fantastic friends, and just the privilege to make a film. Not many people can say they've made a film, can they? Apart from Steven Spielberg and George Lucas, and they're only directors I've ever heard of. And I just can't wait for the premiere and just to go down red carpet. I was there in Leicester Square a few weeks ago, talking to my mate Andrew Garfield, who I went to school with, at the premiere of Spider-Man. And I said, I'm going to be in a couple of weeks. He says, I'm a big fan. I said, you bastard, you should have been at film then. And but yeah, it's going to be very exciting. I'll probably cry and get emotional because inside I'm a big wuss. I'm like a locket, hard on the exterior and soft and juicy on the inside. The main difference between shooting a film and doing telly is that film takes fucking ages. It takes ages to make film. And I remember the first 2 weeks I thought in my mind, maybe I should stick to telly. Maybe making films isn't the dream after all. And then by the third week I was passionately in love with everything that was going on. When I first went to Belfast, I couldn't understand a word they were saying, but soon I picked up their dialect. And when they came up to me and said, where has your hair? At first I would say, sorry. Then they would go, where has your hair? Say, my hair has highlights. You should get them, it looks suit you. And what they were saying was, what has you here? And I said, I was making a film, but of course they don't say film, they say film. And they say, so what's the situation? And I said, So what's the situation? And I said, the situation is it's like a biopic epic. And they say, it's like, it's not a porno then. Everyone thought I was making a porno. But why would I go to Belfast? I go to somewhere more exotic and warm, wouldn't I? It was freezing and wet all the time. The people were lovely and the pubs were ace. Well, when I was out in Belfast, I felt like Eamon Holmes. Because everyone was like, yeah, coming up to me and saying, I like you. And oh, well, actually, some of them don't. I think that's just their sense of humour. They'll go, I don't like you. My brother likes you, but I don't like you. You can have an autograph. Yeah, if you really want one. If you don't like me, you can, yeah. And then they'd say to, I can remember someone says to Kelly, I don't like Piranha 3D. I thought it was shite. Can I have a photograph? And then she said no. And that's their prerogative. If someone says your film's shite, you're not going to have a picture taken with them, are you? But most people are lovely, yeah, and I write a good time, and I never thought I'd miss it, but I do. I miss Belfast a little bit in my soul. Paul is a first-time director, and I wanted a first-time director for my first film, so I could have some input myself instead of being overshadowed by someone who'd done numerous films. So it was nice that he let me go, I won't do it like that, I'd do it like this. And then he'd go, shut up! I'm a fucking director! And we didn't get on. And so, but I couldn't help it. If I think you should do it this way, I will say you should do it this way. And then in edit, I'll go, told you should have done it the way I said. Like that. The actors are all doing acting, but it was good for me to work with actors. I liked working with actors and I learned things from them. But they act, and I say to them, I don't act. I say the lines that I have written with Paul, and I'm not acting them, I'm just saying them. And the writing process is basically me stood up and talking constantly until we both laugh, and then we write that down. He's a very good typist. He's faster than me, so he's typing. The filmmakers generator, only film I know they've made is Your Highness, starring Natalie Portman, whose flat I lived in whilst I was in Belfast. She wasn't there whilst it was happening, otherwise it'd have been all over papers that me and her were having an affair. But she did leave loads of hair in the shower, which I have photographs of. And maybe that was part of her weave from when she was playing a warrior in that film, which I thought was delightful. And I really enjoyed it. And so I was glad that I was working with people that made films like that because I liked that film. Lionsgate, I was introduced to Lionsgate by Paul Angadanavala, who's the director. And he introduced me to Nick Manzi and Emma Bafakowski. And we developed the script over 3 years. And I wish it hadn't taken that long, but it did, and it's out now, so that's good. Favourite scene to shoot? Ooh. Well, it's weird because it's not a funny scene. At the end of the film, I do some crying, and I felt very accomplished being able to cry on camera, on cue, because I've never done it before. But for 2 weeks after, I couldn't stop crying at everything. And definitely when we finished the scene, I went home and cried a bit more. And I won't tell you what I think of, because I'm not going to reveal too much about myself. Want to be one of those enigmas things. Enigma, how do you say it? Enigma. One of them secret things. Be one of them. And but I like doing that. I liked doing the scene where I appreciate Kelly Brook all over myself. Anything indoors was good because it was freezing. I didn't like being on the floor for 2 days in a subway. That was pretty cold, and after a while, it's getting me down. Being mugged for 2 days. Imagine being mugged for 2 days solidly. That's some mugging. I was nervous about kissing any member of the cast, females, and not displaying how much I was enjoying it. I didn't want to ever get a straight penis. So my job was to think of science and travesty whilst kissing them. The strip club scene for me was quite easy because I was really tired. It was the last few days. I was so tired. I didn't care that I had tits in my face. I enjoyed watching Paddy McGuinness enjoy that scene. I could see a little twinkle in his eye. He liked it. He sent me a text afterwards saying magical. Don't know if he'll appreciate me saying that, but it was a magical experience. He was right. It was bang on. And but I think I coped well. I didn't get straight Willie, if that's what you think. I didn't get one. But because I was so tired. Sometimes when I'm really tired, my Willie won't go straight. Not even if I bash it in the door. I have to thumb it in to get it in. Get it in. The makeup people were lovely. They were mad as a bag of frogs. And I think once I told them I thought they were mad, they became even madder. It's like they had a license to be mad and were crazy. But they were lovely people, costume people. And Kieran was the nicest gay fella I'd ever met in my life. And I told him that. And I said, and I can remember thinking, I wish I'd not say gay man, because I should have said you're one of the nicest men I've ever met. But I don't know many gays apart from my brother and Will Young. And yes, Will Young's gay. And he was just a right nice bloke. I liked him. Told him I liked him. I'm on Twitter and I often get this other name. People mistake me for this other fella. I think that's, you know, when I don't know if you ever watched Jeremy Kyle. I always think there's a doppelganger of yourself that will exist in that world, on the Jeremy Kyle world. And from what I've seen of this fella, he's like the rough version of me that would appear on Jeremy Kyle. The tidy birds that are in the film, we just get an email of models and we just sit down and choose. She's nice, let's get her. She's nice, let's get her. She's nice, let's get her. Celebrity ones are ones that were willing to come on and have fun. And there's like a couple of people I would have liked in the film that are not in the film, which would have just rounded it off for me and just thought, yeah, all me people that I like are in there. And but yeah, there's a lot of fit women, isn't there? But I'm always surrounded by fit women. I suppose I have that sort of magnetism where fit women want to hang around with me. I think they don't feel threatened by me because I'm right nice. Or maybe secretly they are threatened by me and they're terrified that they're going to leave me and never get that tongue sandwich that they dreamt of getting. Like Baby in Dirty Dancing when she says something about, I'm so scared, I'm scared of everything, but most of all, I'm scared of never feeling about you how I feel about you right now or something. In that film. Fucking Dirty Dancing. I would have liked to have Davina McCall in there. She's a good friend. And also I would have liked to have Patsy Kensit in there. Then I probably would have ticked all my boxes of women that I wanted in there, if I was being really honest. But both of them were busy. People that weren't in it that I would have liked to be, it was scheduling. And because it was nothing to do with the money, because they all got paid packets of biscuits. I suppose it all depends on how well the film does, if there'll be a sequel. But I've already plotted the storyline down for the sequel, and I'll do an exclusive for you now. I'll tell you what the film's called. It's called Keith Lemon the Film 2. That's my phone. Of Vern Troyer from, he was inside the Mini-Me puppet, which was in Austin Powers, and Austin Powers 2, and Austin Powers 3. Is it 4th one? When I said I'm making a film, people thought it was just me joking. I don't think they believe it's coming out to this day. Even if they're holding it now on DVD, watching this as an extra, they probably don't think it's real. And but yeah, he's a lovely man, is Vern, and it's nice to see him in a film having more dialogue than he normally does, because he doesn't really talk that much in films I've seen. He just goes, ee, ee. That's Mini-Me voice in it, and he's been brilliant. Yeah, I love him to death, and I think him and Kevin Bishop got on very well, to the extent that Kevin Bishop packed his testicles on Vern's head. Stunts. Yes, I've never called myself a stuntman, but I used to watch Fall Guy when I was a kid, so I can roll about and stuff. I did all my own stunts, whether it was flying or being pushed off a building by Kelly Brook. And yeah, at the beginning of the film, I jump off some steps. I can't remember how many times I did that, but I had to put frozen peas on my foot because it was knackered afterwards. Yeah, because I had flimsy shoes on, and you shouldn't jump in flimsy shoes. You should just walk and look good.
I'm Kelly Brook and I'm playing myself in this movie. I am basically the object of desire for Keith Lemon's character. He is infatuated with me and his whole dream is to one day meet me and marry me, and his dream comes true in this film. So that's my role. I would say I play a heightened version of myself in this film. There are some similarities. However, I do get to be a real femme fatale and quite mean, because I'm just using Keith as someone to get money from and get more press attention and become more successful. So I wouldn't say I'm like that in real life. However, in this movie I do get to have fun and really torture Keith. So I think I give as good as I get in this film. It's been great fun to play. I love comedy, and I've never really had the chance to do much comedy, so for me, having the opportunity to come and play a heightened version of myself in a film like this is fantastic. And I think Keith and Kevin Bishop are so great in their roles as well, so it's good just to kind of work with them and feed off them. And yeah, I mean, it's quite outrageous what we're doing, so it's been great fun just to like be free and do some silly things and poke fun at myself. involved with the project when I got sent a script, and in the script my name was just mentioned the whole way through. So I thought, well, this is an easy job to get, because obviously they just wrote Kelly Brook on every page, and I'm Kelly Brook, so they can't really cast anyone else. So it's quite good for negotiation that they had me in mind. But I think Keith, he said that he always had me in mind for something like this, and I was really flattered, because I thought it was a really funny script and it's quite outrageous. I think the biggest challenge on a film like this is just keeping a straight face when you're not supposed to laugh. There was one particular scene where it was when Keith and I are about to make love, and we don't quite get that far, but it's just kind of the whole build up to it, and that for me was probably the most difficult scene to film, and I'm sure will be the most talked about scene in the whole movie. But yeah, I think that's just been the biggest challenge really. It's just not like laughing hysterically every time something happens. There's also a scene where Vern Troyer walks through my legs, and obviously I don't know he's there. His character's invisible to me. But as they were lighting the shot, he has these fake eyebrows on, and all I could feel was that his fake eyebrows tickling the insides of my legs. That was a strange sensation. I thought, there's a man down there with big eyebrows tickling my thighs. That was a first. The most fun scene for me so far has probably been when Keith gives me piranha earrings as a gift. Keith's character is a big fan of my work throughout the movie, and is always referencing certain films that I've actually been a part of, like 3 and Piranha 3D, and they're very much boys' films, and he just worships me and my work. So to show me how much he loves my work, he gives me piranha clip-on earrings on plinths. So I thought that was very genius of him. Paul the director is so much fun. He's really clear on what he wants. He's got great comedy timing. His whole, approach to it is just all about the comedy, all about having fun. He's just full of energy every day, and I think that really sets the tone for the whole crew and everybody. And I think this has probably been my favourite job, because it hasn't even felt like work really. We just come in and just muck around all day. The whole crew, from what I can see, really enjoy watching what we're doing, and just seem to think Lee is like the funniest thing ever. And yeah, so that's been really reassuring actually, because you never know when you're being asked to do really outrageous things. You think, oh God, is this going to work? And seeing how everyone's reaction has been really great. And I think once you get that camaraderie of the whole crew, and you're working long hours and stuff, so it's quite nice to just have fun, and the days just kind of go by, which is lovely. It's refreshing. Belfast has been great. We've been going out quite a lot. We've been to a lot of bars. There's like a couple of favourites that we frequent often, and I think that's the whole part of it. Anything like this, it's like a team environment. You all want to get together and go out and socialise, and you kind of all thrust together in a strange location away from home for like 6 weeks. So you just want to make the most of it, and we've certainly been making the most of Belfast nightlife. I've worked with Lionsgate before. I did a film called School for Seduction many years ago, so I'm familiar with Lionsgate, and I think it just goes to show that when you've got those kind of production companies behind a project like this, it kind of brings in they're like how can I put it, the grown-up amongst the chaos. They come in and remind everyone that we are actually having to make a film, and we do have deadlines, and it does have to all cut together and actually be watchable. It's not just for our good time. So yeah, it's reassuring to know that you've got somebody like Lionsgate and Generator behind a production like this that's going to actually make it watchable. and an actual film. Why do I think people should come and see Keith Lemon the film? There's no reason. I don't even think they should actually. I think it's completely offensive and outrageous, and you'll never be the same again. So, I mean, why should they come and see it? Maybe to make themselves feel better about themselves. It's a bit like Jeremy Kyle, you know, you watch it because you realise your life's actually better than those people's lives. So I think watching someone like Keith Lemon, you realise that your life will never be as bad as that, ever. So if you're feeling a bit down in the dumps, then I think it's a good film to go and watch to make yourself feel really good about yourself. I've got to know Keith Lemon on this film, and I have to say I think he genuinely does have a kind heart. I think he gets away with an awful lot because I think underlying the outrageousness of him, he is actually a genuinely nice guy, and I think he does love his girlfriend deep down. So no, I don't think there'll be a future between Kelly Brook and Keith Lemon.
You seen Rambo? You've not seen Rambo? I'll tell you what happens in Rambo if you've not seen Rambo. What happens in Rambo is he tries to get into a small town and they won't let him into the small town, so he goes into the small town anyway, so they arrest him, they take him down to the station to do his fingerprints, but you can see he don't want to do his fingerprints, and then they put him in the shower and they hose him down, which I thought was a bit homoerotic, and then he punches that ginger guy from CSI Miami, then he breaks out, then there's a passerby on a motorbike, he takes his motorbike from him, and then he goes into the forest and he climbs up a tree, then he falls out of the tree and he cuts all his arm open, but lucky for him he's got a Rambo knife, it's got loads of trinkets in it, it's got needle and thread in there, so he sews up his arm up like that and he goes further into the forest being chased by the locals, a bit like Frankenstein, they've got torches and stuff, then he goes into a tunnel, and we've seen loads of flashbacks of when he was in Vietnam, so we know he's not in trouble. And then he gets loads of rats on his back, and he burns the rats off his back. Then they blow up the tunnel. Then he goes out of the tunnel. Then he goes into the town that he tried to get into before. And then he meets the old sergeant, and he says, you can't tell what he's saying, but you can tell that he says, they drew first blood, not me. Hence the title of the film, First Blood. Hey, I've heard that the sequel to Marley and Me is coming out as well. Marley and Me too. And that's going to be in 3D. If it is in 3D, that's going to be something. I'll buy a ticket for that, I will.
Fucking up situations. Why you being a dickhead for? Stop being a dickhead.
I wish Rosie was here. She'd know what to do.
Well, I told you. You should try and sell some polls in Leeds first. Expand the business slowly. It's not going to just happen overnight, Keith.
Rosie, I need some TLC. Some tender lemon cuddles.
Come here.
Will you nosh me off?
It's cold out. Will you be quick?
I'll be really quick and it'll make me feel much better.
Okay.
Thanks. Just put that in your mouth. There you go. Ooh, oh, just, yeah, I'll just manoeuvre your head. Move around. Tell you what, let's lay down. Let me on top. Ah, it's out my balls. It's out my balls. Oh, nice. Exhilarating. Turn around, let's do it from behind. Just feel your breasts. Like a monkey. Dribbling like a fried egg sandwich.
Dirty, bloody Londoner. Come on, Mother. We're going home.
Cheers. I'm going crazy. What's my stress? What's she gonna say when she finds out I've ordered 1,000 poles? Hope it was 1,000 and not 2,500. I'm totally screwed if it's 2,500.